Lengsin biro Santos Electronics Singjamai Laishram Sharat.
Yungi home appliance sing the natana. Luhong with the sang the Beatrava, Yumamagi, Makup Mata sing the natana. Washing machine, freeze, TV singba, electronic items sing, wholesale rate of Magaloinana. Atomadong Yumda, home delivery Kudong South Pijeri.
Santos Electronics Singjamai Laishram Sharat. Adom gi yumda changraba yadraba potlamsing amadi angangi sanapot makhasuna phanghanjari
adom na kariguma mobile ma mathau taraba mobile ma anobo leibige na khanbiraba adoiba tarabadi Santos Electronics Singjamai Laishram Sharat miyam gi damukta thonglaw na hangdon leiri makhal khudimaki mobile khudimak phangbigani adosu kariguma adom loan oine EMI da thibiraga lobige harbasu loan gi khudong sabasu pijari
Santos Electronics Singjamai Laishram Sharat.
Krumjari SKTV and Group Nokchari Raj Nongthombam. Welcome to yet another edition of Beyond Headlines. Haukiba Mamangitha October Gitang Tarada Hanagi Chief Commissioner of Income Tax Government of India Aduka 2024 Gi Lok Sabha Mikal the after Manipur Parliamentary Constituency da Naga People's Front NPF ki candidate Oikiba Kachui Timothy Zimik Hariba IRS retired officer asina Levasigi President Draupadi Murmuda petition ama Thai habitare hariba petition asi Manipur state ta hill area sing Manipur singilam sing asigi separate budget ama PPU haibagi demand ni hariba petition asiga mari lenana haukiba November gi tang kun ga taru ngasidagi numit humni mari ni gi mamang habitare masidasu after receiving hariba magi petition si Governor ako President ke Secretary na phangaba matung da masi makhata na lebasigi Finance Ministry da tharba matung da Finance Ministry na makhata na magi Department of Economics Affairs and Budget Division ki maikai degi ko Department of Expenditure have the expenditure sida forward to bahada makhata na forward tawre petition sida hairiba wafam sing si maruena Manipur da hujik leriba financial condition lamsigi sel thungi pibam amadi separate budget hills ke damakta petitions the high wapam lunana koi governance ki pattern koi state le bisi masi ki matang sida kari action lo khot pa yabage appropriate oi basing kai thabak to bu yabage habasi ki matang da wapam se pale request to we have tare masi to bu yabage to bi khro haidana aduna high ribo wapam se koi gi president gi office to yoruba matung da president gi office ki finance department da forward tawre finance department da gi hujik koi Department of Expenditure have tare masida yogre adun sibok sida khara movement khara lei bagi pausing Manipur gi miam na tanare aduna separate budget ki wafam lakpa sida Manipur da separate administration ki polum amma separate administration ki demand na Manipur miam da khoirang khoisang nereng marak sida separate budget ki wafam amma lakpa sida manmuka amuk hena khoirang khoisang no wafam le dubu separate administration is not possible haidna center ki maikhe gi phongdo khibul leire armai tok dana separate budget si khoina tongan ba experts sing na miyo sing na phondo koi matung ina su separate budget is not possible in the context of Indian Constitution koi state ki leisure ba state ki budget hai basi masi state ki affair ni state ki subject ni habi ofna sing mayam sing lari aduna so maina separate budget amma state amagi ching amadi tam gi tonga na khaiduk piu hai basi masi karai fau bu yaga na Manipur gi oina constitutional provision ama article 371 c lei aduna 371 c ki manung da lei ba Manipur Legislative Assembly ki Hill Areas Committee gi magi order 1972 gi leriba maside pangriba wapam singa si court toru matung da mahaki petition da Timothy Zimeng na harisi Manipur da separate budget amma PVM na to article 371 c na ambadi hariba Manipur Legislative Assembly Hill Areas Committee's order presidential gi order 1972 asina Manipur gi budget asibu hills amadi valley gi tokai na masi bifurcate to ba yabra haibagi wahang doni wahang sigi matang sida wari sana gu tang se beyond headlines ki thorom sin length sin le biri basi koi oja Laishram Sharat ni oja Sharat Laishram oja Sharat je koi planning koi department man government of Manipur ki hanegi koi researcher ne habtare andar oja Laishram ki oja research officer ado oja Laishram ki si hai ba separate budget ke wapam lak pasida oja gi oi ba ahan ba ओजा स्ट्राइक तब है तारे मनपी मैम दरी खोराम खोजान होबदले अदु ओजा दी अखोई डिपार्टमेंट मनुंगी वर्क फ्लो से फजन उबरगा दुम हांदगे लेबिरकपनिना सेपरेट बजे की वाफम अमा अदुसु IRS रिटायर्ड IRS ऑफिसर अमना इनकम टैक्स डिपार्टमेंट की प्रिंसिपल चीफ सेक्रेटरी चीफ कमिश्नर और मम्मी अमना पिटिशन सुमान तरुपसिदा ओजा की ओइबा फर्स्ट स्ट्राइकिंग पॉइंट से कोकता लागो वखत करियोबी कोइ थमी
separate budget is we understand it. Budget making is the realm of the state government. It is the monopoly of the state government. Adubo hilida committee ki ek makada sumai toguna hilgi sakho thorungi damga togyo budget ogi tongan ba development plan ama semo hybrid within the budget. Adu de hana jo koi ki constitution ki keno sum yaudun le jare. Adubo haujik se madugi plan do sembra semdabra hilida committee sta thambra korpra hybrid gi madu sem de bi wafamni. Adon if the demand is that high budget separate budget sing the allocate of development fund gai do madu hilida committee da thambiu inform to biu hilida committee na madu yengchen na ba madu gi funding madu gi expenditure mayam to no opportunity bi de that is a justifiable demand. Adon madu tawdre high the separate budget no to pai di Bharat le ri se ekoi gi bagi samvidhan makata ekoi gi consolidated fund of India like consolidated fund of state like there are only two areas been under the constitution of India. Hilida committee gi fund boiro whatever local self government gi boiro what maybe state gi man to butapok me andu di state ki consolidated fund gi manung gi sakat ba paisa ga tani ado demand ji to ji separate budget ma tau IBCD separate budget se masi I am not aware of such arrangement in other states. I couldn't talk about Bodoland Territorial Council, Bodoland Territorial Council, the PDBA, autonomic level, Masi Yam Wangre, my the PDBA power, say, Atopato Park and Mayam Yamena, Pire. Still, they don't have separate budget. Budget, Assam state give budget here, give them second of Nigeria. Territorial Council, they allocate to Bokoto Mayam, Mutirumpai. Other separate budget was central Paldo Shemagas. Separate Hilida committee, the Madu Central Fund direct transfer to by. These are bizarre demands, outlandish demands, and these are not practicable under the Constitution and not permissible under the Constitution.
Adu butu into na ngasagi constitution ki article 371C court toba adu ga ngasagi madugi manung channa hill areas committee order 1972 the piriba magi pera mapan habatare masi court toraga maruina pera 6 kum masi court toraga kogi kenosgi wapam haitare ngasa separate budget se lahan ba yana gi justification ama dum hai reasoning people mal haita adu area tu dedi 371C amadi ngasagi 1972 ki order ani sina ngasai bifurcate to bang bagi mangonda kahatra capacity power se p hana yeng ba ko mathbe
se capacity se article 371 sina has it gaino all the development plans of the hill area committee the hill area the private development plan me am do margi plan me am do hill area committee the thammo hai brudi adu dum thamam thui marmi already constitution to re Manipuri thoki border jadu dum tawgadabani habisi yadna sum leirabo potni adu di mar sum tofam thui ade madagi step sum sakalaga adu da article 371 see the separate budget man semo then hill areas committee na piba keno do madu iset government na pass to godam habisi legislative power is the exclusive domain of the exclusive domain of the exclusive domain of the legislatures. Aduna ekoi state sigi legislation ki power khuding mukti ekoi kanu da lei hajari ba nobody can force legislatures to legislate and here layer committee ki recommendations they are entitled to make recommendations adu modu ki recommendations in do implement the order to it is up to the legislature if the recommendations are very powerful very constructive and very much necessary then nobody can resist it but if the legislation demanded is not considered fit to discuss then assembly will not discuss it it is up to the state legislature to decide whether that particular legislation has to be passed or not. Aduna masigi legislation gi ekoi exclusive domain of law making, legislation making we should respect it. Mamang ida ekoi gi kano gi ana hajare gi movie ni matam da mayang lokpan bin sem ko dum ko ko dum ni mayam mai jaida ekoi matam da paw legal kano mayam mana si hab ko dum ni si to ko dum ni sum demand tor ko matam bi legal ekoi jurist mayam mana moina hai bul lai ba ekoi gi kano mayam se ekoi legislation cannot be done in the marketplace. Aduna legislation is the exclusive domain of the parliament. Aduna let the parliament make law same way aduna demand to di pai aduga law do marketplace same mani harati that is totally anarchic.
Okay.
Aduma to na haibu lai gira hajari ba. Aduna ajuki live film chida ekoi na kano gi Hilarious committee da PDB power mayam se sigi mathakta apart from that power tam na sum hejelaga separate budget mai to budget se budget ki significance kari no habida ekoi gi sorry
jagi se kano da in flight mode ta thambi na parani okay aduna ujik lai riba situation hai batare ngasagi masi Manipur State Assembly ki magi mathoni legislators sing akoina miyam na khali ba dum laba legislators sing na decision lawja ka ba hatare duga law amo in state ki assembly na law amo ina masi bill amo ina putho matung da adusu ko gi political willingness atar ko gi legislators sing na tawrage ma jam maram chai mathok ta hena khala kanda madugi bill ama legislation ama putho matung da madu pass tor kan sida sagi bifurcate to bagi matang du ero main tarpa ya du India ki any state amma da habtar mana ko gi budget si bifurcate toraga madu tawnum gi damakta ko gi semba lodi leite except Telangana amadi ko gi magi Andhra Pradesh anisina punna leringe matam da ko gi SC and ST sub plan act 2013 haidana ama lerami adu ani hairi si state se tonga tonga oir matung da hairi pa state ani sida su khujik sedum hairi ba sub plan se ane du sub plan se da hairi si mohugi ST community habatar ST community gi magi percentage state tu gi percentage se kari gumba 20% oir anta 30% oir my population se adu gi matung ina asagi capital expenditure gi haga capital budget ha koi budget ki revenue amadi capital gi da capital koi development da sin nagada percent pham asigi chada mogi hujik leri population gi 30 or 30% 25% se madu earmark torga chahi amagi wena thambagi ermaina law amadi koi aina Telangana amadi gano gi sida Andhra Pradesh ki sida masi thengna jai haba tara adumai to na koi Manipur gi sub plan ama tribal sub plan ama lehna bagi hedi development outflow charka da bom yam sing asi outlay sing asi gi demokta di earmark tong nabgi wapum se 2021 gi koi August ke tang kun ga manga da koi Manipur government na constitute to ki committee na koi ching da amadi tampak da koi fund flow se kyam yam na chali hai bagi study ama department gi data myam khongbola ga tawgi bagi report to madu gi white paper tu da madu da su recommendation oina dum palle ha batare expenditure of salaries pension establishment expenditure can be allocated jointly si mayam sidi koi revenue expenditure mayam sidi punna dum punjan bayai while the developmental expenditure under the tribal subplan can be shown separately in the budget habagi wapama mai recommend tor me habtare masigi recommendation su koina ngasa oza thambigir maina assembly the house butho matungda aham da cabinet na ayaba pir matungda mase legislation onu butho matungda mase pass tor pa yabu hum de tribal subplan phawagi wapam sidi dum masagi atop station su dum salary bas maina dum Manipur su to biya khambe
tribal subplan jidi already during late 80s and the 90s
ko center ki mai ke digi
center ki mai ke digi planning commission da multi level planning division of multi level planning division jigi their responsibility is about the functionings of the empowerment of the district councils local self bodies rural panchayat simba mayam gi democracy at the grassroots level adu gi plan to gi demokta multi level planning division of planning commission de le majori ba aduna under the instructions of that multi level planning divisions Manipur da koina ekoi exercise tawjegi matam du da tribal plan and the tribal population je matam du da 33% of the total population in ekoi assume doraga tribal sub plan gi paisa je 33% ma khai aduga ekoi gi SC special component plan agent schedule caste ki population matam schedule caste ki population 3% in ekoi pai स्पेशल कंपोनेंट प्लान है मुझे कोई थमे अदुना ट्राइबल सब प्लान की पैसा तोरम्बा प्लान दा स्पेशल कंपोनेंट प्लान की तब सिदी अरुबना दे हान दे कोई सुम तौदन लाई द प्रॉब्लम इज दैट हाउजिक दी कोई ट्राइबल सब प्लान की तब मतम दा 33% जी what shall constitute the 33%? There are many practical difficulties. Piriba paisa department of the allocate of paisa ji manungda si bawa kada bawa da singi kada ge kada bawa da tamgi kada ge yam hard in the past divisions of expenditure ji di mane classification ji di very difficult. Aduna akoina masidi tribal supply gi paisa asuk lai bo kot bai bisi masi normative way mostly it was normative at the time. Adudi akoina adubu 33% is for tribal supply. Adu taseng na tawgada dudi akoina exercise to matum no to exercise mayam do akoi am fine tun to mathai taiba. Maram the expenditures dai koi the revenue expenditures yauri kai thoi paisa ji ki manung da salary ki paisa yauri then adagi maintenance ki paisa yauri maintenance adagi koi gari leiba khotpa capital investment adagi capital investment state amo koi state level la si naga ba koi capital investment darkar leidi district level la si naga darkar leidi then district tadi gari leiba khotpa mayam do district leiba officer sing do moina sanction moi gi sanctioning power limitation lai then paisa adu kamai to tare koi gi headquarter the allocate tare the headquarter na paisa du spend to paisa again amuk district ta amuk pan gedra ko kadra there are practical difficulties adu broadly housing high river keno mayam si the capital expenditure gi portion gi saruk sidai da akoi gi sing gi 33% population gi matungina adu development needs gi matungina adu gi hela su college karabi hela su college madu tonga na piba habrudi marudi gesu akai bilaiti marandi very easy like but difficulties is that there are certain capital investment proposals adu the inter district characteristic labor kodam bana da Imphal Ukrul state highways or nation highways are adu thabak to same lambi to same matam ji adu the benefit for the entire state district ani mena madu benefit tawduri adu han bi investment Imphal dai tawduri nadra Ukrul dai tawduri
right
adu the aikoni yang ku matam di Ukrul lob side esan Ukrul sigi lambi ji same gi paisa su henga kare Imphal dana tare hamri sing sigum mayam am su lakta bana teba adu generally yamena frankly speaking sumaina aikoni very airtight compartment da hingi expenditure aduga belly expenditure and yamna airtight compartment in the khaido purudi it will be very difficult and amadugi it will be a great administrative challenge in the years to come adubu saurakna housing se aikoi sing the anxiety we are not getting enough investment for development having singba simba consideration mayam chidi akoi masiri discuss to phonthei hairiba claim mayam do chumbra chumdabra haibido maduna gona discussion toru muthunda lakani but hairiba claim mayam de koi taba khanaba naina base sakana tabi ba khanabi bal bai
adubu hairiba wahang maruina chingi lamda koi sales chading yamna tawdre maruina revenue gi na revenue na koi maintenance salary pension maintenance adagi koi pidho ki dauba ko loan payment gi sumba ki sidi upai leitaba chakhi do sembong mata hetare adu sai maruina capex capital expenditure ki part moina sai gi development ki asset creation hetare sumba development work ki senpham sing hetare sigi senpham sing si chingda yow di habagi matang te oidong mali maruina koi gi budget document ko chegu dingi budget estimate lai so budget ki document sida masida revise sudum yaure estimate handak chagi na estimate kya odi ba revise mamang chagi revise na kya laba adu ki mamang da actual na kya use to gi ba habagi column lai no cha adu ki column du dasu amu ko gi state manu sidam hills and valley hena demands for grant khodi maki every department gi chingdana kyam spend to gi ba duga tampakta na kyam tawgada natraga tawgi ba habisigi data ama thoi have tare sigi data se mayam hoji yam kana share tawna raga chingdana sikak pi ba tampakta na cp ba chingda sika adugi compare adugi document du uru matungda after seeing the document hoji hairi ba conclusion mayam se la matungda chingda spend tawdre tampakta loina tawre habisila ko mala dana sagi budget ki document se da koi annual budget ki document se da reflect tori ba hills and valley ena ama kolam mani kha yoise masi kamaina explain to bi
hill and the valley gi kalam sidai da akoi gi taseng badi chorak pa akoi gi lady be expenditure ma je singi population da leraga singi da 30% akoi gi khapam thui have the margi concept da I think it is only the normative classifications in the budget but still there is hill and the plain division is there in the budget hill da sukta we plain da sukta we adana ya working out the expenditure proposals hill da paisa thada de se asidi I don't believe that sing the paisa thada de have simadi ai masidi enough paisa invest of de aduga phangi ba development expenditure ji belly de ga ta taw ya ba simdai masidi ai ajaning de maram di NLCPia adagi akoi gi all important program NHG program adi de ma khuding mak se masi aini yengjare NLCPR so masi equally distributed across the state non-lapsable central pool of resources then NHG scheme is almost successive years I have lisang sinam 40% the NHG scheme ma se single sum invest away adubu argument se lack of development se masigi argument se akoi gi fund allocate to budagina fund spend to buda sum loiselaga di akoi da madugi kano the crux of the problem we miss the crux of the problem I am the problem di karino akoi ni yenga da budi where the lekuna in expenditures at the same time implementation kari soi di kholi have ni jing mayam khuding to madom da karai ko ni business bi buno pani adana ajik lai ba Mr. JBK respected Mr. JBK argument se magi argument se his arguments start with fund allocations and end with fund expenditures aduna akoi dan khange akoi gi PTV gi development strategy da kana do bi paisa allocate to ba spend to buga tana development project there are many things in between the administrative competence then decentralization structures the timing of the expenditure then planning harnessing ba khring mak to expenditure planning puno mak se masidi enhancing the capacity of the government sinaching puno mak se all these are important factors paisa allocate to ba paisa spend to bu katana it does not automatically result in development aduna ikoni language de kai ginoida ai planning department da ai matam ama aina tawjur tabu du mari lenana budget ki exercise plan gi travel sa plan semba special component plan sembi exercise go ai kara idea ka lejare at the same time aina sing the posting tabu matam da su aikoina development scheme mayam ji implement tawda what are the major hurdles faced by the implementing agencies and the government to implement schemes properly. Adugamba many hurdles mayam thengna yeba. Karigino the inaccessibility, law and order problem, low capacity of the government, and local population's lack of awareness about the government schemes and programs, lack of decentralization. Decentralization je akoi state government gatana decentralized tawdabagi state government gata blame to goda people themselves are also not interested in decentralization aduna MLA themselves are not interested in decentralization so Manipur gi Valley gi MLA amtana singi MLA amtana decentralization tawrugi ma kana na forcefully kana assembly da ngangi ba court ke ba then public platform da the necessity to decentralization sing the hills akano su masi laite hajari ba arna all these factors sing se akona masi yangsin ba tangai pade sing the sakhate abse sing the sakhate it is a fact ai isam ju ai ujaru de aina sing in the Sandel district in the 2000 thamda akoi gi once I was traveling to Sajik Tampa madam the major man lambi de check taun rame he looks very alarmed adaina major sahab problem dai bra kar ke problem lege hangbuda mara hai problem is Mr. Singh akoi gi India da some people are already in 21st century majority of the people are in 20th century still here in Chandel district some people are still living in 19th century I have seen myself with my own eyes, people in the villages living without electricity, without proper water supply, without proper medical facilities, without proper roads. I ujare. Then, again in Thopal district, I election duty even in Kaksing subdivisions, entire Kaksing assembly constituencies data, government school election polling station not a proper building for primary schools. Higher secondary school government higher secondary no proper building. Kaksing higher secondary school drinking water like there no proper toilet system. I hajab ye kai ginoida. I koi sing the jakotre laire I koi yare. But in the valley it is not all milk and honey in the valley too. In the outlying areas, even in Imphal valley, even in Imphal town, people are living without basic minimum services. Aduna I koi na masida I kanana chakthum kanana mat kare belly na mat kare sing na mat kare aduna thobi mohta I khudi makna I citizen Manipuri citizen khudi makna I realize the good se we are all victims of poor governance, successive government, then inefficiency, lack of proper planning. Adu sigumba mayam khuding masigi victims se masi hill amasung people ge praja khuding adigi victim ne se masi aware eminam phai aduga aikoi suffering do it may be in varying degrees but yam zaun kena bunate in the very areas too I have seen many villages surviving without any government support at all aduna singum factors ma punchila kanta aikoi na masidi kana government antana singbo totally neglect over belly just support over then belly gi people na sing jakthung lowi khole have na sing sigumba propaganda se they such propagandas are baseless and we should not indulge in such kind of propaganda and accusation and blame game particularly at this critical juncture.
Okay. Adum za ngasagi petition haba tare Zimik ki Timothy Zimik ki petition asida separate budget ki wapam ma hairi si uzana su sa thambikre aduga ma masamana su aware oram tong malai tare masi state budget is a state subject kugi union kugi constitution the period 7 schedule ki manung the period union list state list concurrent list state list ki manung da su yaw badum laba state ki budget se state ki finance haba tare masi state ki thabang haba tare adubu state ki assembly na legislature na logja gadaba decision du kugi president du ina masi modify to view natraga state budget amma langna bagi government ki maike degi masi intervene to view habagi petition am selise ma samna se dum khangjar ngon have the masi state ki thap legislature ki mathong ni assembly na tawja gadaba ni adubu I am going to the president adana president selise ki wahan thukse khoi kamai yeng de no ngasagi article 371 cc amend to view haina yengaduribra natraga ngasagi 1972 gi HAC gi order se masida amend to view haina yengaduribra kamai thambes
president simply president is the head of state
right
the president is the head of state but president he or she himself is under the constitution he or she has to follow the constitution
right
hill area committee ki ex day the president adu to haibun singi power laite haijariba aduna masigi power se amend tawgani tawroi haibun singi sidi due process we have to follow the go through the due process amend tawbam to jo tawbam to drusu amend tawba kan sangbidan amend tawba adu anobal law semba punamang sidi it is the exclusive domain of Indian parliament bagi president parliament adu ilo semo adu lo semo no haibetu madigi power do president laite haijariba it is the parliament to decide the government aduna decide to them Nigeria. Why president bill ma parliament impress to ni hai. Ada bill duri president ayab biduri ni bill mi introduce to do president bill do introduce to ro yare hai duri ni. President ayab biduri do it is on the advice of the executive. Aduna akoi le ba ki sasan jira di akoi executive advice ki mutung ina president ayab biduri bini aduna shape punam se we have to understand all this.
Adu hariba petition si now finance department dagi hariba department of expenditure yogre hetare so department of expenditure na makata na hariba petition asida local payabasi Manipur state government da recommendation perkatoribra adna tra union finance ministry da recommendation pigtoribra kamai themi
at the most they can ask a report from the
state
government state ki governor the report mo ko bani and the report today da as per the contents of the report to the high matung ina tawim sung to the having matung ina do the tawon to was sang bidan yaw report di already it is under constitution madu to no to have to be ngam ada sang bidan yaw do karino then hill area committee da hill is a ko torungi paisa nungsa allocation to mayam do hill area committee da thamo haibane adu gatani adu separate budget chemba kot ba haibne chemba khuding mag do di si article 371 si da di yaw di
okay adu uzang sang tribal sub plan gi wafum musu thambi gi hariba tribal sub plan maruna development gi expenditure si tribal sub plan gi manung da oina separately show to bana phagani hills ki si haiba gi wafum ma angasai gi 2021 gi ngasai gi state government gi oiba white paper report ama bothoki base sida su palle do jana chu tribal sub plan de hande gi dum exist or glei ba dum ba wafum ma khangni adu ngasai gi ina sai gi telangana amadi andhra pradesh sanari ba SC amadi ST ki oiba SC ST sub plan act 2013 hai batare masigi manu mo state ki oiba mo state ki mechanism am su leje ma leptar aduna adum makhal gi oina introduce to busudum kana gani khan bi bi abrak mai thami hojik sanari ba sub plan se ga hojik ki moi andhra pradesh ka koi kari dano khena dise mai thami
hojik sanari ba sub plan andhra pradesh ka different states are having different arrangement but under the state government
right
under the unity of the state budget
yes
tonga budget the tribal sub plan gi tonga ba do have the same arrangement ama tobugi wane hajari ba and andhra pradesh ki separate budget nathi hajari budget to consolidated whatever the fund requirements of the tribal sub plan or AC plan adu fund gi sources ki karai di la ka do no the state ki consolidated fund gi na hajari ba
right
aduna that consolidated fund do gi kari puna maktu gi charhali bi kari no have di gai no eta state ki legislation mayam china democratic accountability from where the fund comes live paisa ji karai de gi no live paisa mayam ji how far karai bo judiciously karai bo praja gi chakot thorom da sinari habisi madugi executive na phan season me mayam do madu ungtang moi election hauna na batan ja ama akoi ni pi de ba ya de manam di budget si dai da koi ngasai gi the role of the legislature is great aduna legislature jingina ni aduna legislative accountability je mase koi thamdaba ya de hajari ba adu phandu tonga ba fer ke to amma sakre amma sakre then where is the accountability question of accountability aduna aina hajari bi de kai no habeda tonga ba hilera committee gi phan pamba I hojik sidum thamjari there are practical difficulties adu madugi practical difficulties indo adu demand torubina we need to find in the arrangement of fund allocations adu ekoi ye housing Mr. Jibik himself ki kanu do toru mayam staida mana palle ekoi ye central government formula for allocations of fund rai ada ekoi ye central allocation ki consolidated fund of India dagi yenthok bagi kanu chi ani ni amana vertical distributions of fund ni that is between the states and the central government dai ba kara ba consolidated fund of India da live fund may have the central government can retain the whole the how much has to be distributed to the states states in siana can we this is vertical distribution aduga again vertical distribution to gi mathang da mo horizontal distribution state ki saruk to state may ang saruk to mo kamai to equitably state ko ding mutai yen to kada ge have to bune horizontal distributions of fund do aduna mana mention to biji adage horizontal distribution of fund gi formula do hajari ba state sing ka mai na bang available fund do ada ko ju capital expenditure gi fund se on that basis ta ko yen to kum matam da categorically difficulties like ya bada ahan bada there are works schemes development proposals for the entire state ki daka lai bo chai ma am chu lai ta ban te ba every available fund guding mak akoi gi district sum yen thok ton le boi di state gi ba apun ba thabuti ka mai pakha ka ge ba aduna the most akoi gi logical thing may be state की बा अपन बा entire state की दरकार लेबे में खाई दुगा housing से लेमोर इबे पैसा तो ना formula में मखा दे यंतो को तुम तारे then another कनोना कोई ये करमाइन तो गे बदा on population basis दा है population basis horizontal distribution of fund population की weightage है मसी अदु की मति southern states ना मसी हम कने challenge तो ना रे मरम दी कहीं ना इधर अकोई जे northern states ना मोई ये population है ले इधर ना अकोई ये political power जों पी करबा at the same time fund allocation जों population basis दा पीर बोई थी अकोई जे we are not getting justice from the central distribution of resources have claim में counter claim में हम लाइट बनाते हैं आदुना there might be counter claims but ऐसी पुनः से अकोई खुदी मग democratically अकोई पुनः मग खाना बम थोक बा forum दा proper forum दा मसी बजना democratically in the spirit of accommodation in the spirit of understanding खाना रगा खाना बम मतुंग दा whatever formula whatever development efforts should be evolved by discussion through negotiations to understanding.
अरो जाखो की लेजरीबा स्टेट की कंसोलिडेटेड फंड नत्रगा लेजरीबा मागी फंड है तरफ कंसोलिडेटेड फंड से मसीदगी कोई यंथोंनाबा हिल की वैली की ना सुम सी लेजरीबा खरा से सुम टारगेट तौगी मोता स्टेट की पिकलबा हंदक चाहिए दी 30,000 पु योग रहता है 30,000 करोड़ की सेंफम सिदगी हिल्स के कयानो वैली के कयानो ना सुम मुनर लेबगी मोता कोई स्टेट की ओइबा अनोबा केतन क्रिएटिव ओइबा डेवलपमेंट की प्रोजेक्ट्सिंग नत्रगा प्लान्सिंग या मथौ ताब्रा फॉर एग्जांपल लंबी थोंगी ओइरो अम्ब स्कूल की ओइरो हेल्थ केयर की ओइरो ये मरोइना कोई फॉरेट कोई कहता रे मपान लमगी एक्सटर्नली एडेड काइना कोई फंड मयाम अमसु कोई अदुम लौनब मयाम सु ले हैता रे कमाई थम यादा इदा कोई कितन क्रिएटिव ओइबा अनो आउट ऑफ द बॉक्स आइगा
let me give an analogy era time of independence jati gi sengbat sagat gi panjer gi mate India was very poor era time of independence aduna zwan eruna haiba akoi we have to increase the capacity of the national kiti jati gi well chana enhance to na be horan da ya de we should not give more emphasis on distributions housing city akoi distribution se akoi ignore to ya de but akoi na tanagadam ji kaino jati gi well se khatan ba priority ne ba ado jik se people ki development expectation se masi it is very high manam ni kai no da akoi ni ure adop jaga ra thokna ba sana ba mayam sida ate de lebak ta ate de state ta ate de country da kamai chokole kamdo wi habin jing mayam du uru matung da akoi gi development gi expectation is very high aduga akoi gi development lack mayam se hill da su valley da su akoi na masi gi sakotri ba mayam se masi at one go da masi bonum sakona ba simply state don't have the resources state does not have the resources aduna hojik lai ba akoi na laiba pibam jiradi in the near future 10-20 years state ki financial position se asi develop to the wagani hajari ba aduna praja ki expectation gudi mag development net gudi mag state ki fund pun mag sina fulfill to demand ju sas kind of demand ji very mean tawraga su hill ki mean tawraga su we may consider it an outlandish demand adubo akoina atop state ju kamain tawri akoi ki development se moi ju most of the states mayam revenue expenditures maintenance expenditure ke burden ji state kuting to thum lai jeri be Tamil Nadu be it Maharashtra be it Punjab across Indian state any state dum lai adu development needs mayam city akoi ke private party mayam invite to by on by encouraging private participation in infrastructure development punamak se masi akoi encourage to mathau tai adu tawna bona badadi the whole outlook of the people needs to be changed aduna saka gutna punamak tawgudam ne bi concept ji thoga khudam mai ha bada akoi gi ai maru ma pang ji mention tawjagare dwarka space way se matam tol private company ji semani under the program of build own and transfer avenue semani matam gura moina own torani dwarka space way gi da moina
Delhi the leaves.
Delhi the leaves. Toll tax local ani. Moi ye paisa do along with profit saka ga yana bal level mi madung hajil madung da asset do it will be transferred to the state. praja ge set oro neba aduna di do tol moi gi sang ibe pasa mam collect do lo igre state property wa igre
okay chahi tara amakun amagi agreement am inaraga makhogi paisa do hanjandri po moina adu dilakpa tool gi senpham je moino logi ba
yes aduna akoi manipur ju akoi gi planning commission gi matam da bill on the transfer se masi promote aw aduna state sing da hanjin hanjin akoi gi infrastructure division gi akoi state suggestion tor ki bal laiba adu akoi gi people gi mindset laiba law and order gi people mata ajina akoi na we are not able to attack the private parties adu praja ajina ju private party na lambi sem bai sida ekoi ge praja sin ya yan ba adum ba lai ba adu bo ekoi ge dana silong da chacharu bada silong ge che ekoi ge jora ba dai khara chalaga toll road start sare every car every heavy vehicles kono mag toll phi thi duri but toll ge paisa ra lupa chani jom thira matung da then ekoi congestion free adu ga port all free dust free am ngai na travel to re hajari
lambi se
again अखोई कनो दगी बारा पानी दगी कनो चबगी अखोई बाईपास तो अखोई अतोप बाईपास मा अखोई कोयला गा यम पुतुब कनो दो डिस्ट्रिक्ट तो अदोम द चबगी जोवाई रोम द चबगी बाईपास तो जो अगेन अदु टोल रोड ने हजरी बा अदुना मेघालय ने दी टोल बिल ऑन इन द ट्रांसफर गी मखादा इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर सेंगत बंगमगा अखोई मणिपुर न करी ngam हाबसे मसिने बे कोइ ngasi क्वेश्चन तो बदबसे देन यंगबी अखोई द माइले मी सेमबगी खतबगी इरांग तौनरी simply said government does not have resources at the moment adubo sigumba tanja da convince the people make it a toll road
for some time for some
adu thidun lege do bunati ada sigumba anauba method anauba ideas anauba development concept yam se masi state ge prajada government sum masi promote on bo hono bi pai aduga mayam na akhoi na sakar na enough resource le ga particular community amana madu divert to with court ki da akhoi chakhot da bane ba concept city asidi akhoi gi this is very unfortunate adu aina ma thamjering ba amana sigum ba claim counter claim mayam ji lai ra bani na across the state how the claim then today Mr. Jibik is claiming that hill areas are less development than the valley areas and I am myself is claiming that there are many villages in the valley district that is worse than the hill villages adum ba mayam su leita bana deba adu masi guri makse अखोई इंडिपेंडेंट बॉडी मदे स्टडी तौहलगा what are the development imbalances have मणिपुर सरकार ने येंबिबो फै अदुगा हौजिक जे जिंगदा फन थादगरे फन सेफन तौगरे हैव क्लेम से I myself I isana di masi claim se masi from my point of view this is a very outlandish claim adu singba claim mayam leiramina let some independent body study it kara bobu fan divert togi kara bobu siphon out togi kara bobu misuse togi have ni singo mayam do madu fact finding study
investigation mathak tare
investigation mathak only at that time everything will get clear aduna di amana bagi beng be mayam se masi akoi tulan hajari adu bo state government na masi tawning de adu je masi puna masi tawno na bada we need to enhance the capacity of the government howji yambio akoi gi claim to ridi kaino hill area gi development plan do mandu hill area committee de thamde forget about hill areas where is the planning development planning of the state during the last 20 years state gi development planning karai danu akoi na tabuk jangbu na ngine there was the state planning board executive planning board to matam do risang singh was chief minister sahi with the mari rakhi tawi quarterly he reviewed the progress of the implementation of the plan schemes state planning board sahi with ani rakhami
okay
then university vice chancellor economics ke professors non public personalities mayam ma yaw state planning representative of women travels mayam gi state planning board amleram state planning board to sahi mdari rakhami ado howjikti during the congress last 15 years of the congress rule not a single sitting of the state planning board not a single sitting of the executive planning board
Okay.
Not a single review of the plan schemes.
The planning board to the lady na high.
Then planning board though, then after the planning commission uthai grab matung dadi.
Yes.
Planning board becomes that state planning authority or something like that. But not a single sitting during the last 7 years. Then state level planning wao laite hajariba. Aduna de koi khuding bakna. Masi state level planning, district level planning, hill plan pretty much topum to e have say. Masi koi na punna. Koi masen blame game tong mauta. Koi adum tong no payeba. Ado jikse planning yi matam dadi. Koi gi planning commission yi matam dadi. Even though there was not a single sitting of state planning board, planning commission seat of home to e, seat of home to this can be approved, this cannot be approved by planning commission directive instructions ma'am the state and follow torum. Then planning commission uthagraba matung dedi. State seat of planning ju later kanagum aspar body even seat of home to e, seat of home to the high to later. Jai Karagi Mamanga when Suresh Babu Sahab was chief secretary. There was a vision document. Vision document was Hemam Meba. And the vision document to the Kashunate, it was not based on hard data. Adu the planning he cannot be token table. It was a collection of pious sentiments of the government. She the Wodoni, she the never, Amakak never. So I couldn't hygiene in the Kaino. State planning city planning commission uthaidaba even after the evolutions of this continuance of the planning commission still there are planning boards in many states in Maharashtra in Tamil Nadu planning commission label but state should have planning there will be explanation ma'am say masi karai di invest akorge ekoi leiba scarce resources where to invest base these scarce resources have do neighbor planning I say. Aduga ekoi state ki collectively MLA putting on the praja putting on a ekoi labor resources say kadai de invest ko de kari torga bhagata ge khanaba platform of provide to butu neighbor planning ye madu go say. Adum ta later bane hoji say. Aduna di ekoi ki pena daba mayam punamak say. Thajana daba pena daba aduna logi bani kotki bani abi say. Masi punamak sila ko ni. Adubo Masi aina hygiene with the carino. I coin at the car lady basically. How jigs Mr. Jimmy Magi demand I am a preset on the carino. I quite a quite way to say. I quite ye Pansat election to the bar, district council election to the bar, municipality to the base. This is the greatest setback for any government. Aduna, without empowering the people, without decentralizations. No modern game government can be run. Aduna housing say koina yam tuna masigi district council election toba aduga aikoi gi panchayat election toba local self government mayam aduga aikoi gi masi mayam se function don base it should be the priority of the government aduga praja khuding magna aikoina blame tono gi mohta aikoi gi institutional system mayam kamai tor aikoi gi soi riba governance asoiba adagi lekuna mayam kurimuse praja aikoina aikoi voice collective voice raise torga how to enhance the capacity of the government how to strengthen the institutions having to punamukse masumda aikoi Manipur ki citizen kudimuna nagari kudimuna mayam sin phagani na khale
Okay adu busum aversion hai uzan thamiri wafum koi punna changjin bayan bagi lambi koi collectively koi si koi economy gi phibam se phataba aduga planning leitaba aduga koi gi atopa thangnaba state singda paikaliba development gi model have tare masi koi na boro tokdaba masi koi na koi si to bu yaina na koi pusilakta probably koi law and order gi situation mar marga ala koi gi private player me amsu lakpa tan basu dum mar me yaita re di mogi cutting piro mogi share piro hai na share to pinaba piba tan ba pam da have tare adum basu dum mayam le ram dog di mal heta adubu summa mayam sigi marakta aduga koi marak seda sel tum sel la na misappropriate to ba siphon to ba lerangani have sing na targa su investigation amadi mathok tare madugi investigation na tohon biu haina demand to gi motta natraga koi resources haina phagalan biu habi motta natraga center tagi thadari ba koi state ki oiba koi have tar central ki aid have tare simma mayam sing asi hengalan bagi mohta granting aid मैम से मसी हेंगलन बगी मोता हंदक तब तक हंदर ही नहीं हंदक की बचत तदी तो सुम बसी हेंगलक न बगी सी हेंगलक तारगदी कोई चिंग दसु हेना मसाई सेल से काय थोक तुनी तम दसु हेना काय थोक तुनी हेतारे असी हाई बगी मोता कोई की अदसु यामना लर्नेड वेरबा अदसु यामना गवर्नमेंट की इनकम टैक्स डिपार्टमेंट द प्रिंसिपल चीफ कमिश्नर अमु वेरबा मिसक अमना सेपरेट बजट वेना पियो ना हरक तारगदी मधु separate budget to he himself must be knowing keno masu finance ki income gi lam se de lak pa misak am oina khang wone masi di state ki subject ni koi gi ngasai gi state ki list yaw jara gale state subject ni so state budget is step subject kanam tana tas to we are na state ta tonna bo hai bu gi mota center da hai targeti state subject oi targeti state budget huji pam separate budget am pam hai bani na separate budget pam hai bani na state budget city state ki manung dalai it means state ki manung dagi budget ani khai dok badi yada bani na separate budget is possible only when somebody has separate state adun indirectly separate state una demand to yani yang wi ko thami
separateness separateness historically why people were coming together mi मैम जे सुम पुनसिलबा अखोय ngasi थेंगनरिबा अखोय से फंगिबा कन्वीनियंस मैम से अखोय ना फंगिबा कंफर्ट मैम अते दे अखोय निंग थुंगदब मखन मनी अखोय के फोर्थ फादर सिंग दगी इवन चै चामे मामारी ngasi बाबदी we are enjoying more convenience comfort than our forefathers adam masi jing je अखोय naturally sum lak ko to मैम ma अखोय तो then why people are coming together Punchen bagi advantage am lay, but that is why European Union is coming up. European Union brought about major phenomenal changes in the European subcontinent. Aduna akhona sida punchen be kana masulai. Punchen bane haidana punchen basida da kanangba particular group amna dominate or pun mudagi kaisa. I never emphasize that kind of unity. Aduna akhoi kuting magse akhoi kuting ke right realize to we have akhoi kuting ki aspirations amma fulfill to we have condition ma sema matungda akhoi masen punmadi dum phabane ba separate se at no sim hanjin separate lom so emphasis over se I think this is not a solution akhoi ki hojik se akhoi ki district kano ki district council sema district empower to ba self governance si punamaki saruk amane ba hilira committee ki saruk se masi karigi no ida karigi dang ta why district councils why 6 schedule why 5th schedules hai ba mayam ji keno at the time of independence the British government was having a different administrative philosophy and then Indian government matam to lakado ba India government do they were having a different administrative philosophy bidizarjing ide karigi no moi di emphasis law and order aduna di tribal people mayam se akoi 1935 ki ek makada masi excluded area they are not fit for akoi modern governance democratic governance ki ganse moi fit waidri aduna moi as it is laijnu lam menanda ba thamba khot pha moi to to thamba hai bane ba ado constituent assembly da particularly akoi Assam gi former chief minister of Assam Gopinath Bordoloi mana forcefully and they calls moi myam jina kai do tribal sing se isolation is not the solution integration with the mainstream ga pun baduna it will have the best interest of the state haven adubo the entire arrangement of district council 6th schedule 5th schedule autonomy chipunum si karino the purpose is to bring about the tribals into the mainstream mainstream the pura kadu is not for the benefit of the majority people it is for the benefit of the tribal people themselves
right
adunandi 371 chigi mapung oiba pandam jo aduni to integrate seamlessly with the mainstream karamba maung da tribals na ju moi distinct characteristic culture tradition mayam do loina safeguard to pulakpa yaba system ama lana bo hona bane ba adugo akoina madugi spirit again separation in jalagati against this spirit adu mayam puding mana akoi citizen puding mana karam mana chumba approach no do I leave it to the people of Manipur to decide whether we have to integrate to serve our varying interests ekoi kuring bagi commodity guni different kind of considerations man do ꯄꯨꯟꯁꯤꯜꯂꯒ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯄꯨꯟꯅ ꯀꯗꯥꯏꯐꯥꯎꯕ ꯐꯪꯕ ꯌꯥꯕ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯗ ꯑꯗꯣꯝꯗ ꯌꯦꯡꯕꯤꯅꯕꯁꯨ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯐꯩ ꯍꯥꯏꯖꯔꯤꯕ ꯑꯗꯨꯅ ꯁꯦꯄꯔꯦꯇꯤꯖꯝꯁꯦ ꯀꯥꯡꯂꯨꯞ ꯑꯃꯒꯤ ꯁꯦꯄꯔꯦꯇꯤꯖꯝꯗꯨꯅ it failed separatism in other communities too and then there is class between many communities on the issue of separatism aduna this kind of separatism will take us to nowhere
okay adu sigi separatism gi na separate budget ki demand to busida ngasai refer to riba ngasai article 371 c article 371 c duna sema iba ngasai gi hill areas committee order ma thoga 1972 gi madugi pera mapan dugi manungda pera taruk subada yariba ko gi development gi matang da any ko gi magi schemes in aptar valley gi scheme chingi scheme se kai kai no have se separately phajana eno sida ko hill areas committee da khanar matung da makoi opinion do soidana lawgadabani have gi wahum dipalli have tare opinion dugi wani opinion is important adu hai haidana maduduna koi separate budget ama semu separate lehelu haibu makti haidi habata ngasai gi 6 para number 6 su adu hujikti madudu refer tawraga hill areas committee order 1972 je refer tawraga nataga article 371 je refer tawraga separate budget se sik tawramni na hairiba makoina refer tawriba 1972 की order की para number 60 refer tawi 62 की hek mathak ta ka khalaga 5 haitare 5 sida clause a and b yawi b sida asagi headers committee no bi ma khoina taliba tawriba thabak thoram sing aduna kogi masi peaceful coexistence with other communities atopa communities sing aduga nungsi sanana leminhan ba hona ga dabani habi wafum dipal hata so wa aduna ngasagi 6 se refer to matam da why do they forget 5b habi wafum la hatare aduna ngasagi headers committee constitute to semi so kogi peaceful coexistence za tapkir maina mayam se uplift or ga punna chabe na bi yana bi na hatar aduna ngasagi 4 ga 6 ga di 3 ga di sum pan ba du ngasagi 5 b di kari pan ri no ha ko mum la ta 5 b do ningjing dar ga de koi punna lai mina bi adune kamai thami ja
say a peaceful coexistence between communities this is the only solution in the state of Manipur adune ha jo peaceful coexistence tawno bona bata no community should sacrifice its right its privilege adu kuri mugdo to sacrifice tawroidabane this is possible and the grievances of these people people like Mr. Jimmick is that recommendations of the Hill Area Committee is not binding to the government
yes
government da tongan ba group ki recommendations mayam do maduna government ji sum binding to loboi di we are hacking at the feet of the government na phangdori ba khuding maksi government da kine na phangdori ba autonomy na phangdori ba development plan everything khuding maksi who has to guarantee that it is the government
right
and if we try to slowly if we try to diminish the authority of the government then this is very unfortunate this government is not mighty government
right
there are the tribal MLAs, there are Muslim MLAs, tribal MLAs go Kungatan in a power is see this kind of 20, 40 majority minority kind of complex is very unfortunate and everywhere this is there in Bihar, in Uttar Pradesh, in Maharashtra and they are living with that and the beauty of democracy is that discussions if the aduga it depends on the merit of the recommendations see let me tell you one example JNU gi bill hudopu matamda sakana JNU ba Jawaharlal Nehru University ba linkat kani ba bill ma sakana introduce tawre then adugi bill dugi challenge tawraga CPI gi Bhupesh Gupta mana mo tongan ba bill mo mana suggestion mayam ma tawe ba parliament da adabu in the end parliament adopted 70% of the proposal from Bhupesh Gupta CPI the very much in a minority at the time too adu member magi suggestions mayam do it was a very strong and very meritorious suggestions aduna madam do Jawaharlal Nehru na mana highly suggestions mayam do finance bill the 70% have been adopted aduna Hill Area Committee na yam fazaba proposal mayam taw matamda aikoi gi state ki legislation ama to ignore to yaro aduna madu punamakto thamam matungda aina hajangi di kaino hile dagi plan tok dia budo state ki ju plan tok dia
Yes.
then we have to demand for the plan of the
Proper
state
planning.
proper planning of the state now I got the impressions that state finances maiti na lobanate kanon lobanate vested interests are
Yes.
you know I koi gi apportioning the state resources
Right.
that much I can say anu bo sida maiti bu muslim bu tribal bu kuki bu na blame
tong na bagi mohta haptar okay blame to bagi mohta ko gi problem se puna realize to mina ba du ga mang da changjan ugi da makta kari kari to bu ya bagi haberom da positively constructively changjan man mat hena phagone have ni sina separatist ki demand have tare separate demand separation ki demand sena manipur se the peaceful oiba coexistence su lehen banga moy aduga manipur chakot pa makan da su changjan banga moy aduga sumaina separate oiba community amagi na ta area khari gi oiba demand sena manipur nungai gani aduga makhoi phangaba matung da phangi ba kangu sing adru nungai gen haiba wakhal andusu maduna peaceful coexistence ta haiba tare punna lemina ba do ibi ai aduga leminari ba setup se da haiba tare masida su yam chauna apan ba mo igani haiba hom dunia da punna sangchen ba ya borom da sangchen ba duga koi masing yam ba kangu na su magi oiba understanding hai tare magi hen understanding oibi ba koi masing yam da sin complaint tori why kari gadam da complaint me am lai no haiba si masi understand to minaro matung da punna sangmi na ba ya ba tabak sing su hai ba masing yang ba kangu sing market ki su hena tabak se packet menu badi changi but at the same time asi state ki subject ni state ki legislative assembly lawja gada ba decision sing ni aduna hai ba decision sing du assembly ki floor da yohanu gadam talab da se da lenga kam se dum popular government am su len mathau ta hai tar hai ba mayam sing asi lete with the president rule gi amna lairi becher ga se da su makal gi separate administration gi natra separate budget ki issue mayam injan misna maram mer ga hena charang na pathon banatna koi end result si thudok karsi lero habi gi no se dang sigi koi beyond headlines ki edition se matang shala shin jageng sigi edition se mapum phan gi dam to jabo ro se thaga cha punuk chari loina na koi gi sponsor santos electronics ki market gi jada yam chamba gi ham param to bodol tam dega thank you so much aro bade yeng bi pon su thaga cha punuk chari SKTV se miyam gi khonjel ni mar miyam gi voice ni this is the expression of the people of Manipur and the state Manipur when you support SKTV when you watch SKTV, you are fundamentally supporting the people of Manipur and the state Manipur. So keep supporting SKTV, keep watching SKTV. Thank you so much, Krumjal.
Lengsin biro Santos Electronics Singjamai Laishram Sharat.
Yunggi home appliance sing da natana luhong bada sang da yadraba yum amagi makup mata sing da natana washing machine freeze TV na singba electronic items sing wholesale rate ta phangan baga loinana adong yumda home delivery khudong chaw su pijari
Santos Electronics Singjamai Laishram Sharat. Adom gi yumda changraba yadraba potlamsing amadi angangi sanapot makhal suna phanganjari
adom na kariguma mobile ma mathau taraba mobile ma anobo leibi gen khanbiraba adoiba tarabadi Santos Electronics Singjamai Laishram Sharat miyam gi damukta thonglaw na hangdo leiri makhal khudimaki mobile khudimak phungbigani adu su kariguma adomna loan oine EMI da thibiraga lobi gi harbasu loan gi khudong sabasu pijari
Santos Electronics Singjamai Laishram